tell you to build an audience, but that's bad advice. You don't need to build an audience. You need to build an identity that people want to belong to. Hey, it's your girl, Sherry Somerville. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how to create demand for your low ticket offer before you even make it. If you're new to my space, I have created 100 plus offer within 30 days using one low ticket offer. Listen, I'm excited to share this with you, and I have my handy dandy notebook. So if you see me looking down, I literally prepared myself. And let me say something that might sting a little bit, but it will save you so much years. When I was taking notes for this video, I realized that most people don't have an offer problem. They have an audience identity problem. And here's what I wrote down. And until you fix that, nothing you sell will ever feel in demand. Here's what I mean. A lot of experts says, I just want to package my expertise and sell it, but expertise doesn't sell. Identity does. Think about it like the Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift doesn't sell music. She sells this identity of being a Swiftie. Beyonce doesn't sell music. She sells the identity of being a beehive. Does that make sense? People don't buy because of your product. They buy because they themselves see themselves in your audience. Now, let's bring this back to your business. If I ask you right now, what is it your audience becoming by buying from you? One more time. What is it your audience are becoming by buying from you? That's super deep, right? Because most people would answer and say, oh, their age, or they would say something like, well, along with their age, their demographic. But that's kind of like a mailing list. That's not an identity. Your age, your demographic, all of that has nothing to do with a person's identity, because the identity answers these different questions. And here's what I wrote down. I want you to write it down too as well. It answers, who are they by deciding to be? Who are they deciding to be? What standard do they live by? What do they no longer tolerate? How do they move, think, and buy differently than everyone else? When you can answer those questions about your audience, then you now have an identity, and you give that identity a name. In our space and the women that we work with, when we're marketing our products, we're not marketing for everybody. We're marketing for that woman who wants to be demand and paid, who's embodying that. What does she look like? Their voice carry weight, their offers to be taken seriously, their work to be compassionate without conviction. That expectation change how they show up, and how you show up determines who buy from you. So not only your audience have that identity, but you also carry that same identity as well. So if you're creating a course, a program, a digital product, pause, and I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I selling information, or am I inviting someone into a new identity? And I have to tell you this, I had to do this for myself first too. I had to kind of sit there, because that moment someone say, that's me, that's who I am, demand follow, and being paid become normal. And when I was preparing for this video, I had to ask myself those questions as well, because I'm not going to ask you something that I'm not doing myself. And one of the things that I identify, we early on created the identity, the manifesto of that demand and paid woman. That woman though who want to have time in the morning for their child and not having to rush him or her out to school. That want to have their nails done on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So we created that type of identity for the women that we serve in our space. Matter of fact, we have a whole audio series because that woman want to make daily sales and turn those daily sales into multiple buyers on repeat. So here they are. They want to make daily, and of course you know how to bust out. Of course you know how to bust out the iPad. So this demand and paid this demand and paid woman is looking to make daily sales and then take those daily sales and turn into multiple sales on a repeat. And like I said, I have a whole, if you click below, there's a whole 8-track audio on how we do this. So you can go there to get the whole breakdown. But the idea here is creating this person, this persona, creating that person and embodying that person every day. The reason I did that is because I myself was coming from a place of having to have surgery and being able to say, how am I going to run a business if it requires me to always be on to do it? And that's why I love low ticket. That's why I love low ticket mini courses and so on, because when the ecosystem is set up properly, it you can create daily sales on autopilot and turn those daily sales into multiple sales on repeat. Because I realized, life happens, you get older. And when I was down for 8 weeks trying to heal from a hysterectomy, that was important for me. That was a business model that I needed. But before that, first started, I did not start with a I did not start with a product. I start with the first thing you want to start with is your identity. That's really where you want to start, because when it comes to your identity, when it comes to that space, that's what's important to people. That's what they want to know about. They want to see themselves in your audience. And most people forget that. They want to be demand and paid, but most people forget that you are selling that identity. And I want to okay, you are selling that identity. I want to switch back to my all right, so you're selling that identity. And when you're selling that, that's everything that you create. Everything that mini course, that PDF, everything that you create, that webinar goes back to that identity of your audience. That's why you don't have to chase, because once you first identify who or what that identity is, you create products around that. So you don't start with, oh, let me just create a mini course. You embody and create that identity. And it makes easier for you to create a course. It's easier for you to be in demand because you're only talking to those people. So you're like, okay, well, who am I going to sell to? Once you have your identity of who you're selling to figure out, then you know what they want. You know the desire of what they want. You know the things that they don't want to do, and you know the things that they want to do. So the first thing I would tell you is first start here with identifying who who do I want to talk to? What do they like? What do they not like? And I'm not talking about age and demographics stuff. I'm talking about what is the freedom lifestyle that person want, right? Let me give you an example. If I show this person how to automate their business, will that give them freedom? Because she identifies being a person who like her freedom, her space. Do you see how that all of that go together? So whenever you're thinking about creating a low ticket offer, always have that identity and give it a name, right? So first, you're going to research and see who she is or he is, right? And two, name it. Give that person a name, and it's a single person. A single person. And here's the bonus tip. If you look back at your existing audience, I guarantee you can see yourself in some of your audience. Like your audience that has worked with you in the past, I guarantee you, your existing clients, that you serve right now, I guarantee you a little piece of who you are is in those clients. So as a bonus tip, think about where you found where they first came into your world. What do you see inside of them? Like, what is their traits? Because success leave clues, because that will help you kind of identify what that person is. So you're going to research, you're going to give the name, right? And start calling your community by that name. Like, start calling your community by that name. Because when you start calling someone by identity, good or bad, they start showing up like that. Right? So just imagine when your spouse come home and you're like saying, "Oh my goodness," in this case you're saying your spouse did a great job. They washed your dishes for you. Like when I was having my hysterectomy and I was home, oh my God, I'm just blessed with a wonderful husband because he took good care of me. And any chance I get, I get to tell him that, right? But the more I say that to him, guess what? He want to live up to that name. That's what happened with your own community, your own audience. So you don't have to build an audience. You just need to start calling that audience out. That audience, after you identify like who that person is. Now, here's the thing, keyword. In order to have an identity that people want to be part of, you have to embody that for your own self. Because when you do that, sales become normal. So you have to embody what you seek. It has to be in alignment. Like that word alignment, whew, is deep. It's deep. You have to be in alignment with that space. So you have homework, two things. Number one, if you want to know more about that demand and paid woman, if you want to know how to create that daily sale that move your daily buyer into multiple buyers on repeat, grab that free guide. It's the audio track, actually, free audio track about how to create that evergreen system. And number two, start researching and creating that name and creating that single person, and start looking for that person in your clients. And when you write your emails or when you post on social media, you're only thinking of that single person. You're only thinking about that single person. And what happens there when you start doing this, what happens is that person will automatically start raising their hands to you. They'll start raising their hands and they'll start like, "Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. You're talking to me. That's me." And that gives you an idea that, oh, okay, we got some in the house. And sometimes people say, "Oh, but Sherry, my email list, they're all freebie seekers. I don't want to do." No, I guarantee you that person that identify themselves like what we call it in your demand and paid woman, they're in your email list. They're on your email. They're your subscriber in your YouTube channel. They are there. They're waiting for you to say, "Hey, look at me." Everything you said, "Girl, you talking to me." Right? You know, but you have to keep calling that person out and give them an opportunity to raise the hand to pay attention to you. So if you want to know more about that, more in detail, because I couldn't create a whole video of this. This is 8 short audio track of that. Go ahead and click the link below. We give you more detail on becoming that demand and paid woman that may create and turn daily buyers into multiple buyers on repeat. All right, see you on our next video.